Hey guys, welcome to Khanvolution. My name's Khan, and right now I'm about to check out RWBY World of Remnant, titled The Four Maidens, part of Volume 3's anthology of RWBY World of Remnant videos. I'm super excited for this one. I have been super hyped for this one ever since we got that information about the Four Maidens in RWBY Volume 3, Chapter 6. So like, I love myths and lores. I just love hearing legends like these, you know, passed down through oral tradition from one generation to the next, and RWBY is now delving into what I can only presume is their main storyline. You know, I mean, the first couple of volumes we definitely got a lot of information about these individual characters. We saw how cool they are, what the action style and fight choreography style, what the feel of RWBY actually is, and now we're delving deep. I mean, they already got us hooked, you know. Now they're just giving us, you know, the meat of the story itself. So I'm super excited for this, to definitely check this out. I wonder how this story of the Four Maidens in this World of Remnant version will differ from the story that we got, the short story that we got in chapter 6 when Ozpin was explaining the story to Pyrrha. You know, so I'm interested to see like what other extra details we'll get in this, because as I know, World of Remnant goes into the very like two-dimensional style of storytelling. You know what I'm trying to say? By the way, if you guys haven't checked out my reaction to RWBY Volume 3 Chapter 8, I'll leave the link in the description below as well as up here, so you guys can go ahead and check that out before joining back with me for this World of Remnant video. And stay tuned after the video's over, guys, because I'll give you guys a little bit of information on when I'll be reacting to, as well as uploading, or what my upload schedule will be for the next couple of chapters for Volume 3, chapters 9 through 12. I'll give you guys all information on that as well. So stay tuned, don't leave. And as well as some other RWBY content. So look forward to that as well. Oh, by the way, if you guys are wondering why I look like this, I'm not going on vacation or nothing. I thought, you know, we're watching the Four Maidens and they're all like colorful and stuff. I thought, well, I'd wear something colorful too. You know what I'm saying? Some flowers and shit. All right, let's go ahead and dive in. 3, 2, 1, sun. Oh man, what are we gonna see, bro? What are we gonna see, bro?
Deep in the forests of Remnant, beside a great and mighty river, stood the small, fragile home of a cold, frail man. A lone wizard. Hidden from the dangers and distractions of the world, the wizard seldom had visitors. But on this day, as he peered out his window, his gaze fell upon a young maiden. Calmly she sat beneath his tree, in a state of absolute tranquility. When the wizard demanded an explanation, the maiden simply replied, "My name is Winter. I am on a journey, and I am waiting for my sisters." With that, she closed her eyes and sat in silence. The wizard told himself the girl was a fool, but the longer she sat, the more he wished to share in the serenity the young maiden enjoyed. In time, he grew tired and decided to close his eyes as well, thinking on this strange predicament. Upon opening his eyes, the wizard was befuddled to find that a second maiden had appeared beneath his tree, cheerful and spry, with a basket of fruit and flowers. When he asked for an explanation, the girl simply replied, "My name is Spring. I am on a journey, and I am waiting for my sisters." To show her gratitude for his reluctant hospitality, the girl retrieved a handful of seeds from her basket and planted them in the wizard's garden.
Wow, this is just like a fairy tale, dude. Well, it is a fairy tale.
The old hermit could hardly believe his eyes as the maiden turned what was once a mere pile of dirt and manure into a beautiful garden from which life would surely blossom. Wow. It's likely he would have gazed for hours, were it not for the unfamiliar laughter he heard from beneath his tree. A young woman with a warm smile now stood beside the two maidens. The wizard begged her to introduce herself, to which she happily responded, "My name is Summer. I am on a journey, and I am waiting for my sister." Of course, thought the wizard. But another chirp of laughter left the old man perplexed. What in the world was so funny? As it turned out, it was him. The new arrival found the wizard's insistence on staying indoors so very amusing. Why choose to view the world through a small window when the door leading out to it was right at his side? It was a compelling argument, and after only a moment of brief hesitation, the wizard left his home and slipped outside. The warmth of the sun brought with it a surge of energy and life, and soon the wizard wasn't feeling much like himself anymore. He was feeling much better.
I bet he was.
As the day drew to a close, the maidens and the wizard all settled down and prepared a feast. Winter set the table. Spring supplied the crops. Summer prepped the meal, and the wizard was the happiest he'd been in ages. But in all the excitement, he nearly failed to notice the delicate woman that now stood beneath his tree. He smiled and beckoned her to join them, asking only for her name. "My name is Fall," she replied softly. "I am on a journey and am here to meet my sisters. Who are you?" "Me?" the wizard wondered. "Well, I am but an old hermit. I have lived in these woods alone for centuries, and I'm afraid my story is not very interesting, as I have no one to love and nothing to my name." The eldest sister looked up at all that surrounded them. "But sir, do you not see? You have so much." It was true. With their help, it was now clear to see that the wizard had everything he could ever need. He was grateful, but a question lingered in his mind. "Why me?" he asked. "Why did the four of you choose to open my eyes, to share with me your gifts? Why am I so special?" The four sisters looked to one another, perplexed. Finally, the eldest spoke. "I beg your pardon, sir, but we did not do these things for you because you were special. We do what we can for everyone, because we are able." The old wizard was at a loss. Never in his years had he come across such kindness. It was in that moment that he knew what should be done. The wizard summoned his magic, every ounce he could muster, and bestowed it upon the sisters.
Okay. So that's how they got their powers. The wizard was the origin of the powers, the originator. He broke his power into 4 pieces.
He smiled. "Take this gift and know now that you are able to do so much more." Now, armed with the elements, the very powers of nature, and the unimaginable magic of the wizard, the 4 maidens, winter, spring, summer, and fall, promised to carry onward with their journey, using their gifts to aid others, just as they had aided him. One by one, the sisters left. But before they did, they made one final promise. They promised to return each and every year to visit their dear friend.
Aww. Wow. This reminds me so much of like the fairy tales that my mom and my grandmother used to tell me when I was a kid, you know? There's so many stories like this that sort of depict like, you know, how the seasons came to be, or the main seasonal story that I remember reading back in elementary school was the story of like Hades and Persephone's mom in Greek mythology, because her mother, Persephone's mother, I forgot what her name was, but she was responsible for, you know, all the seasonal harvest, you know, for people to be able to eat. However, Hades stole Persephone away, and then Zeus later declared that in order for both her mother and for Hades to be happy, you know, they each were able to have Persephone for half a year. Every 6 months that Persephone was able to return to her mother, the spring would occur, you know, flowers would blossom, and then there would be summer, and of course the 6 months that, you know, Persephone would return to Hades, her mother would be sad, and that would lead to fall and season like winter. So I love seasonal stories like this that sort of give you a little bit of backstory about the world itself. It's funny hearing Ospen talk about a wizard, Wizard of Oz. This is the connection there. That's pretty funny and pretty interesting to me. With myths and legends and stories like this, you always kind of have to wonder how accurate they actually are. So who was this old wizard? How did he acquire magic in the first place? I mean, he had such immense magical power, but he chose to stay indoors the whole time. What is like the meaning behind it? Or is that symbolism for something else? I really enjoyed this story because you see the wizard is, kind of limited to his own household. He doesn't want to leave, and it's ultimately these four girls who teach him, to come outside and pretty much appreciate everything that's outside. I mean, obviously he's a wizard, he's very old, so something must have happened in his life to confine him to that enclosed space, into the safety of his own home, because he is a creature, he's a being of an immense amount of magical energy and power, and you have to wonder, if he has that amount of power, why isn't he sharing it with others in the world, and why isn't, so he's obviously experienced a lot in his lifetime, at least that's what I'm thinking, for him to realize that he should just stay inside. So I'm wondering, I'm guessing there's more to this story of the wizard than meets the eye, because of all these questions are coming up in my head, like why did he confine himself? What led to these four girls ultimately showing it up? Was it just mere coincidence, or was it something more? That's usually how these stories sort of play out. However, he sees the different qualities and beauty that each of these four girls personify, and sort of their happiness and joy that they share with the wizard. He sees that as sort of like a symbolism of what the possibilities are for the rest of the world. I wonder if each of the maidens went to a separate kingdom. I wonder if that was how the formation of the four kingdoms came to be. That'd be pretty interesting, huh? Like winter going to Atlas, maybe fall going to Vale, stuff like that. That's kind of what it seems to me. Maybe they spread to different corners of the planet of the world. And that's how the kingdoms originally originated. It all flows back to this one wizard. That's a pretty interesting story, but I could be wrong. I don't know, because the four girls didn't actually have any power to begin with. They were just, ordinary people who just had the actual power of being generous and kind and having an open mind enough to show an old man what the beauty of the outside world really is. And in his generosity, he gifted these four girls the power to ultimately change the world and make it, or rather design it for the better, and so to speak. So I love the story. It's awesome, man. And I'm sure that there's more to this story than meets the eye because of what's happened in these past couple of chapters, because people are after this power. And the other question is, if the wizards had magic, so how long has magic existed within the world itself? Was the wizard the last of his kind to be able to wield magic? Were there more wizards in existence? Kind of like in the Lord of the Rings, there were like 5 wizards, like Gandalf the Grey, Saruman the White, that dude who has bird shit on his head, what is it, Radagast the Brown. Yeah, like was it something like that, where they sent here into this world for a purpose, just like there? It's very interesting, these are the ideas I'm thinking about, especially after reading this, after hearing this mythos. But I don't know, man. I'm super excited to see how this story sort of translates into modern day World of Remnant, modern day Remnant style, so that's pretty interesting. And I wonder what Cinder knows about this story, and if she knows something more about it that we haven't been introduced to yet, or at least I haven't been introduced to yet. That's all good and stuff. I am super excited to check out these next couple of chapters, which reminds me I have to give you guys information on when my next couple of uploads are actually coming. So here's the thing, guys. Based on a lot of the suggestions that you guys have made in the comments, as well as my moderator has made, the Four Maidens video actually originally aired after chapter 9, but my moderator suggested to me that it's not really spoil anything for chapter 9, so you might as well watch the Four Maidens first and then watch 9 through 12 in a single sitting, and just take breaks and share your initial thoughts between them. So basically what I'm going to end up doing in the next week is I'm going to find myself some time where I can watch chapters 9 through 12 in one sitting. I'll do the reaction, and then I'll share my initial thoughts of each chapter with you, rather than what I normally do in discussions is rewatch the chapter 3 or 4 times and then share my full discussion with you guys. So I won't be doing that this time. I'll just show my reaction, and then after the reaction I'll share my initial thoughts with you in roughly around like maybe 20 to 25 minute video. And at the same time I'll release the discussion video separately for that video. For example, when I release my reaction for chapter 9, that reaction video itself will have my initial thoughts, and then at the same time I'll release on that same day a discussion video for that chapter 9 reaction, but that'll be a separate video going into the discussion of what my thoughts are after I've rewatched that episode about like 3 times or so. And then I'll release one video every day or every other day until I'm done with RWBY Volume 3 Chapter 12, so that you guys know when to expect the first video to be uploaded, like chapter 9. I'll probably start uploading the video on July 31st or August 1st. Now, no, calm down. It's like, Connor, you're gonna leave us over a week and a half without any RWBY content? No, that's not what's gonna happen. I'm just saving that RWBY content for a much later date, is simply because this next week I'm gonna be incredibly busy. However, that doesn't mean you guys aren't gonna get any other RWBY content from me. What I'm actually have been doing for the past couple of days is sharing RWBY with some of my other family members. I've actually been re-watching some of the RWBY videos. So I've actually been sharing RWBY with some of my niece and nephews who are also fans of animation. So I actually started watching the 4 trailers, chapters 1 all the way to chapter 7. So over the next week, I'll actually be releasing those reactions one every day until we get to, the week of July 29th, when I'll actually on that week start going back to releasing the Volume 3 reactions. So that'll give me enough time to fully react to, take a little bit of time, and then do the discussions and ultimately finish editing it all up, as well as I'll release a couple of other reaction videos as well as per you guys' recommendations. That's the format that I'm going to be taking. Hopefully I'll be able to release my episode 9 reaction on July 31st, probably the first one, and then the second one on August 1st, third one on August 2nd, and chapter 12 on August 3rd. At least that's what I'm aiming for. Of course I'm the only one editing all this stuff, so life might happen. I might have to do something on one day, so I might not be able to upload it fully on that specific time, but at least that's my goal for now. So I'll definitely try to stick to that as best as I can, and of course provide these other RWBY reactions, RWBY rewatches for me, and new watches for my family members with you guys over the course of this next week. So that's the plan for now, guys. I hope I can satisfy you guys with that. And with that all being said, I'll see you guys later in the next video. You guys all have a wonderful day or a wonderful night wherever you are, and I'll see you guys later. Bye. Thank you guys so much for watching, and if you enjoyed this video and would like to see more like it, please subscribe, hit that like button, and feel free to share the video, and I'll see you guys next time.